I never imagined my life going this way. I never thought I'd be a mom with empty arms. No one ever prepares you to lose a child. No one prepares you to watch your baby die, to leave the hospital without your baby in the backseat of the car, to live day after day after day in a painfully quiet house, to have your baby's name etched into a piece of stone. I never imagined I'd be able to so easily navigate through a sea of headstones in order to find the one that marks Logan's resting place. In 2012, my husband Andy and I found ourselves in a world we didn't understand, but more importantly, we found ourselves in a world that no longer understood us. We had never felt so isolated in our entire lives. We were loved and surrounded, but still felt so alone. This spot is where I buried my heart. I was scared and I was confused and I didn't know how to move forward. I could see Andy drowning right next to me, but I couldn't help him because I was also drowning. We walked a road no parent should ever have to walk, and we walked it alone. Walk With Me was born out of heartache, out of lessons learned from blind navigation and trial and error. Walk With Me was created out of the love I had for a little boy that I had no outlet for. It was born out of the anger that I had lost my child, couldn't afford counseling, and wondered if my marriage was next. It was born out of loneliness, out of the desire to be affirmed in my grief and simply understood, but knowing that so few truly had the ability to actually understand. It was born out of frustration that our culture is so afraid of grief and often chooses to look away from those in the midst of it. Walk With Me is a physical manifestation of my broken heart's desperate cries in those early years. It's what we longed for but did not have nearly enough of. We now have the honor of walking into the most delicate and tragic parts of life, where we get to meet children that few will ever see. We get to hear stories and have the privilege of being trusted in sacred spaces. The weight and responsibility of what we do is not lost on us. Grief is raw and ugly and it's messy, but it never should be navigated alone. This passion project turned into more than I could have ever imagined. We now offer support and education for local hospitals, donate keepsake kits, and have a mission to educate our community and change the way our society looks at grief. We provide families with counseling, support groups, community events, and financial assistance for things no parent should ever have to pay for, like cremating or burying their baby. Most importantly, though, we provide the grief community that every bereaved parent deserves and needs, but often doesn't have. We're a safe place, and together we remember, honor, and celebrate our babies. Together we fight for hope. It's so hard to see in those early days, but it is there. What started out as a legacy for my son has turned into the legacy of hundreds and someday thousands of children. It's beauty and heartache wrapped up so seamlessly and intricately that the two could not be separated. Walk With Me represents hope and redemption. It's a way for us to honor our babies' lives and show the world that a small life can still have big impact. It is proof that joy and sorrow can coexist, that life can be impossibly difficult and yet still incredibly beautiful.